What I want you to do now is think of your ideal partner. Think about it. Even if you are in a relationship, say a genie appeared and said, I will grant you your ideal partner. What comes up? Do you know? For most people, they don't know. They know what they don't want, but they aren't clear on what they do want. What's your ideal partner like? What's the vibe? What's the energy? What's the attitude? What's the mindset? What are the conversations like? Are they supportive? Yes, no? Think about it. Make a list. My ideal partner. Now, before you start looking for that externally, because that's kind of the mainstream take, it's think of your ideal partner and then go look for that externally. What I want you to do is turn the mirror around and ask yourself, am I being that for me? Key. Meaning, we are all in a relationship, even you by yourself. People are like, it's just me, I'm alone, I'm lonely. You're still in a relationship with you. And if you feel lonely, for example, it's because you are lonely with yourself. But you are never actually alone. You are always there with you. And the relationship you have with yourself is the most important relationship in your life, because it will also dictate any external relationship that comes after that. So, turning the mirror around, it's auditing, well, what is the relationship like with myself? If I were to personalize it, imagine you and that little voice in your head, if it were a person, would it be someone you want to be with? For a lot of people, it's a lot of self-attack. It tends to be the worst partner ever, right? Even when you succeed, what does that little voice say? Could have done better. Like imagine that was like your marriage. It's like, look at what I did. Could have been better. Oh, I'm feeling pretty good now. Oh yeah? Well, do you remember this bad thing that happened in your childhood? Like, just ruining the fun. It tends to be really, really toxic. Not supportive, getting you paranoid. I want to take this risk. It's too risky. You're going to fail. You suck. What kind of relationship is that? Look at you. You're all alone. You suck. No. So think, number one, having that clear vision. What's my ideal partner? And am I being that for me? And until you do, like I said, external relationships will suffer. And what people do is they avoid this and they delegate it to the external. Instead of meeting their own needs, they look externally for others to meet their own needs. Meaning, say you feel very lonely with yourself. Then you're going to have neediness, for example, around a partner. I feel lonely by myself, with myself. We need someone else to complete us. And there's that neediness. And then what happens is not only does the neediness repel people, because no one wants that type of energy, even on a deeper layer, what's neediness? It's you using the other person. That's neediness. It's I'm going to use you to meet my own needs. I'm delegating it to the external. I don't feel happy within, but you will make me feel happy. Come here. You don't even see them as a human. You see them as a means to an end. And that's toxic. So not only will it repel people, but say you actually get into a relationship from that foundation, what's the first thing that's going to kick in? Fear of loss. Okay, well now I got this. If they leave me, I'm back to being with me. Oh no. And what happens then, unconsciously, more often than not, manipulation will kick in to keep the person there. And it could be vice versa. If the other person's in the same spot, manipulation. And that's actually a lot of love, by the way. It's not actually love. It's craving, attachment, fear of loss, and manipulation. And we confuse that with love. So the foundation has to be, hey, I'm meeting my own needs. It's also a sign of a healthy human being, by the way. It's also why people who are not needy are so attractive. You ever think about that? Like, why is it that neediness is so toxic? Well, it's showing that, hey, you're not meeting your own needs. You're not actually healthy inside. There's something lacking. You don't have it all together. It's not a stable foundation. Now, that doesn't mean don't have an intention. There's a difference between craving, neediness, desire, and intention. Meaning, I can feel completely whole within, and I feel inspired. My intention is to get into a relationship. But then it's out of inspiration. It's the good old, instead of two halves coming together, it's two wholes coming together. And that's love. There's a certain synergy that happens there. But it can't be two halves. So bringing your awareness to that is very, very key. And then it's realizing that you are in a relationship with yourself. However, it is not a romantic relationship. It is a parent-child relationship. This is also why you hear so much talk about inner child healing or learning how to reparent yourself. That's a lot of this work, learning how to reparent yourself. And there's also a certain beauty in that, meaning you can't choose your parents. You come into this world and this is what you got. Maybe you hit the jackpot, maybe you didn't. Maybe you had terrible parents, maybe you had no parents. But that doesn't mean you're screwed. That doesn't determine your future. It will affect you at an early age, yes, but later on, the beauty is what you didn't get during your childhood, you can give to yourself then. So realize that there's never a point in your life where you don't have a parent. Even if you're not in touch, even if they passed away, you have you as your own parent. And then think too, once more, a healthy relationship or a parent-child relationship, what kind of parent do I want to be for me? And think about life. It's challenging. Famous saying, life keeps lifing. It's going to throw all these things at you. You're going to go through tragedies. There's crazy ups and downs. It's not easy. For real. You're going to have to go through it. But what's going to help you go through it? Do you want a parent who's, again, nagging and insulting and self-attacking? Or a parent who's perhaps supportive? Now, people think supportive is, yay, you got this, you do this, and kind of pandering. But no, supportive also means, in sometimes scary situations, giving you a friendly nudge. Right? Now, friendly nudge meaning, it's not like, hey, do it, pussy. No. Right? Which is a lot of this hustle, kind of self-help, step it up culture, right? It's like, come on, discipline yourself, you little bitch. Like, is that the kind of parent you want? No. Now, for some, it can help wake you up at first, sure, but you don't want to reside there. Ideally, it's someone who's very empathetic, supportive, but also who helps you push yourself. It's like, hey, come on, you got this. Hey, let's go, and I'm going to be here with you as we go through this. And that's another thing to remember. As you go through hard times, you're never alone. Even in the spiritual world, people say, instead of like the parents, they're like, well, think of your higher self, right? Your higher self looking down on you. You're not alone, you're connected to that. Sure, you can believe in that if you like. I did for a period of time in really hard times, thinking of a higher self. But even on a more micro level, you always have you. And are you supportive? Are you there for you? Do you calm yourself down when you start freaking out and spiraling out of control? Is there another part of you saying, hey, slow down. We got this. Do you also have healthy boundaries? Do you put your foot down on any kind of inner victimhood or self-attack? For real. It can be helpful at first if that self-talk's like, you suck, to put your foot down and say, hey, enough of that. Enough. And even visualizing it, you as your own kid. If you have kids, it's easier. But if not, imagine you have a kid. What kind of parent would you want to be? And this is where you can also even draw inspiration from the past. If you didn't like your own parents, we'll say, hey, how would you do it? And realize you're doing it now. And sadly, a lot of people repeat the patterns even without kids. It's like, I would never do what my parents did. They sucked. Yet they're doing it to themselves right now. And it follows them. No, put your foot down on that. Don't wait till you have kids. You are your own kid. Now, it's also very comforting, too, once it's very healthy. And this is also why a lot of inner work, letting go, comes into play. And it's also why you hear me talk about how the more you do this work, the more you let go. I know in the spiritual world, there's a big focus on quieting the mind, right? Being present, no thoughts, so on and so forth. Now, realize that's not the goal. Thinking is good. You don't want to have it be in control, but it's very healthy and useful. You want to be thinking. When you hear presence, it doesn't mean no thought. It means being present with the thoughts. But the beauty of it is that when you do this type of work, the theme of the voice changes. Why is it that everyone wants to quiet the mind? Because their mind sucks. It's a bad parent. They want to get rid of the parent. As you let go, the voice changes away from, say, self-hate, self-attack, to self-love and self-encouragement, like having an inner cheerleader. Would you want to quiet your mind if there was an inner cheerleader? Right? Say that voice was always supportive. You got this. Yes. Crushing it. I love you. I'm there for you. You come to events. I really want to quiet this cheerleader. Oh, can I quiet the mind and be present? No thought? No. That's what happens. It gets quieter, it's less heavy, and it's actually encouraging. And then it's really beautiful. Like, trust me, going through life with that, like, that's the true sense of security. It's knowing, hey, I got me. And you will always have you. Out here in the external, and that's also the problem with delegating it to the external, is everything can be taken away. And everything is subject to change. We also live in a world of duality. You can read a book called The Kabbalion. Great book, right? There's the 7 Hermetic Principles. And they talk about this, right? It's like, look, in life, there's, it's a world of duality, night, day, up, down, so on and so forth, cold, hot, and there's a pendulum swing that happens. And anything you try to hang on to out here, eventually you will lose it. Nothing is permanent. So that's also where, like I said before, the fear of loss kicks in. I have a partner, you complete me, but don't know, I can't lose the partner, and that kicks in. So you can't find that point of safety and security out here. You can't create this external safe space. You will forever be then left with the fear of losing it, and you won't feel safe. True safety is knowing that no matter what happens out there, I'm okay in here. Your point of, you could say, confidence comes from within. Your point of safety comes from within. Hey, take all this away, I still got me. And once more, it goes back to, well, what does it feel like to have you? And if it's not pleasant, then work to be done. Okay? Now, taking it further on the external side, this also means treat yourself like a relationship. Do you go on dates with you? Do you spend time with yourself? Very few people do, by the way. We spend time distracting ourselves, right? You go home, immediately it's like, okay, social media, music, television, porn, food, drinks, like numb, never stay with me. Can you actually sit with yourself for 10 minutes, doing nothing, just hanging out with you? For a lot of people, that's absolute hell. They can't. Well, that's what it's like to date you. Do you do activities just on your own? Do you even go out for a dinner date with yourself? Like go to the restaurant alone with no phone and just be with you? What's that like? Now, even if it isn't a completely healthy relationship, this can be a great practice to just start becoming more aware. Because guess what? You sit down by yourself for 10 minutes or go on a date with yourself at a restaurant, you're going to be very aware of the relationship and what the voice is saying. And take note. Okay, is it self-attacking? Oh, what are the topics the voice circles back to? Oh, what's going on here? Like, take note. Now you can work on it. For real. And I do really stress the point here of doing nothing versus always just doing activities with yourself. Right? For a lot of people, they'll be like, okay, a date with myself, I'm going to go to the movies with me. Movies by myself. But that's easy because the movie's doing for you. Funny enough, it's the same with parenting. A lot of parents do things with their kids. They're always doing. Let's do this activity. Let's do this. Let's go here. Let's go this. Play with your friend. But you actually spend time being there. Not just doing, but actually being. Sitting there with your kid and just the two of you. Same with yourself. Go on dates with you. Be with you versus hiding in the doing. And then, the last thing here too is, a lot of life is taking risks, having your back. And if you don't support you through those risks, it's going to be very hard. For real. Going for your goals and stuff, it's scary. Stretching and breaking out of your comfort zone, it's scary. It is. Now, letting go can help tremendously, but also just having that inner support system is huge. It really is. And it also means celebrate yourself and celebrate when you do well. Few people do that. Celebrate the wins, even if they might be small wins. I always say have big, big goals, but celebrate every win along the way, no matter how small. In this moment, guess what? I'm celebrating myself giving this speech. For real. I'm like, go on, you're crushing it. You got this. Now, is this speech perfect? Of course not. Could things be improved? Of course. You might be like, well, no, that was quite amazing. No, there's a lot that could be improved. For real. By the way, after every single speech, I always analyze the recording like a sports game. I watch my speaking, I watch how I explain things. I'm like taking notes, even on the concepts. I'm like, how could it be improved? What could be better? Sometimes you'll see bits that I'll say in one event that I'll say at a later event with added components that add more depth and make it click more. That's part of the art. But throughout that, knowing that, yes, things could forever be improved, by the way. Forever. There's no such thing as perfect. I'm celebrating it. I'm like, you crushed it. The same with, say you had a kid. Sport game, did okay. Of course, could do better. When your kid comes back, and you'd be like, wasn't good enough. And you'd be like, you did it. Yes, good job. Do you do that to you? When's the last time you actually even spent just 5 minutes celebrating you? And it could look like anything. It could just be like 5 minutes home alone, just dancing to music. It could be going out and treating yourself to ice cream, whatever it is. Celebrate you. Stop being so hard on yourself. And also realize that with conditioning, there's a lot more emotional charge around failures than success. Let this land. I talk about this a lot. Where growing up, say you come home and there's a test at school and you have a bad grade. There's a lot of charge around that, right? Your parents or whoever's raising you is like, what is this? What? What happened? What? It's a big deal. What happens if you come home with a good grade? Oh, good job. It's like expected. It's like, oh, of course. It's not a 1-for-1 ratio in terms of the celebration. It's not like you come home with a good grade and everyone's like, yes, jumping up and down, dancing and stuff. It's, okay. But as soon as it's bad, go to your room. What is this? Oh, big charge. And we carry that forward. Where when we do well, we're like, okay, what's next? And when we do bad, self-attack, self-attack, self-attack. Balance it out. Celebrate. And it won't take away from your drive or motivation. Okay? There's that saying, misery tends to be the first teacher. What I add on to it is don't let it be the last. There are healthier motivational fuels than self-attack and fear. For real. If you think of the scale of transformation that I teach, apathy, grief, fear, anger, courage, desire, purpose, and love, this is what I take my clients through in my online coaching. You could think of these two as different motivational fuels, right? Where say fear, is fear motivating? Yes or no? Yeah, it is. It's also a big reason why people procrastinate, by the way. The more you put things off, the more that build up until eventually you take action. You're relying on fear. Now you could think of the motivational fuel, like you're loading your car with fuel, fear. It's like chugging a huge sugary Red Bull drink. Will that give you energy? Yeah. But what if you start chugging that every day nonstop? You're just living in Red Bull. It's a lot of people, always in a fear state, always fear, 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 relying on fear. That's not good. Long run, not going to be good. Eventually you want to move up. Now what's one level up above fear? Anger. And that's where instead of being like, oh, I'm scared to take action, anger feels a lot more empowering. And anger isn't self-attack where you beat yourself up into non-action. It's more of this, let's do something about it. Enough. You've all had that moment. You're like, you know what? Enough of this. That's anger. That's like drinking a huge coffee. Better than the Red Bull, but you also don't want to stay there. Above that, you could tap into, for example, desire. That's like drinking tea. And then as you move up, say purpose or love, that's like having a good night's sleep. But you will see, and ask yourself, if you had a kid and you have two choices, what's going to be healthier and more motivating for your kid in the long run? Scaring your kid and insulting your kid for them to take action. Do better, come on, what is this? Or, you got this, you got this, you got this. Keep going, you got this. The second. So why do you parent yourself in fear? Literally, people are scared to drop this, by the way. If I drop my pain, what's going to force me to take action? It's like, what do you mean? And say hypothetically you actually took less action. You would actually start enjoying it. And this is the other thing to realize. If you're taking action and you're not enjoying it, and you're not enjoying the results, the fruits of that labor, then those are not results. You're chasing phantoms. And you are addicted to this sadistic relationship with you. And then zooming out more, is that really what life was meant to be? Is that how you viewed your life? And if not, wake up, do the work, become aware of it, let go, and start changing it. The relationship with you, once more, comes first. It's the most important one. And you cannot delegate it. You cannot. And one last thing, this is a general rule of thumb. The same with the delegation. Whatever you're seeking out there, you're secretly craving it from yourself within. Hey, you want someone to love you? You're actually craving love from within. You're chasing approval? You want approval from within. Whatever it is, chasing safety, security, you want that within. Turn the mirror around. Nothing out there will affect what's in here because this comes first. Inside out approach. The inner always colors the outer. Do let that land. And I've fallen into this trap myself. I'm saying this because I went through all that. Younger me, I thought, if enough people love me, I could finally love myself. Doesn't work. You got to love yourself first.